Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, I will briefly discuss how to approach the process of reading research paper in a more effective and structured way. Now, academic reading is not only about gathering information, but also about engaging critically with ideas and connecting them to your own research context. A more complete guide in a PDF format is available in the description, and it covers all the points mentioned here in a greater depth. Now, it is also important to note that what we will discuss here is focused on how to read research papers, not how to select them. Paper selection is a separate process that requires its own criteria and strategies, which I will not address in this video, but I will cover in another one. Now, many new researchers struggle when they first start reading research papers. The language is technical, the structure is dense, and not everything is equally relevant. That's why it's important to have a clear strategy, instead of reading from start to finish as if it were a novel. Now, when it comes to reading papers, the key is to stay active rather than passively going through the text. One useful strategy is to adapt the structure of your notes depending on why you are reading this paper. Whether it is for writing a related work, are you thinking of including this paper in your related work chapter, for example, for PhD students or master students? Generating new ideas, or simply staying updated in the field. Over the years, several structured methods have been proposed, such as the 3-pass method, for example, which recommends progressively deeper reading. You can find the most famous methods mentioned in the guide. These methods share a common principle: staged reading, active note-taking, and critical evaluation. So, based on some experience, I suggest a starting method that can be very useful for new researchers. The order is flexible, but it generally follows the following steps. First, in the selection phase, one of the main factors that influence the selection is the title, and we do the search itself using the keywords. So basically, the title and the keywords are the first things to read in the paper. What follows is the abstract. The abstract is there to capture the problem, idea, and the contributions. So it highlights the whole paper. Now next we have a quick scan. Now this scan covers some figures, diagrams, and tables. And we focus more on diagrams or figures that describes the whole proposed method or approach in original journal papers. So, covering figures, diagrams, or tables for a fast visual overview. What follows, we jump directly to the conclusion then. We read it before the methods, since it often acts like a long abstract. What follows is the methodology, or the proposed approach, or the method proposed to understand the core contribution. Now, what comes after that is the results and discussion, to see evidence and meaning. And finally, we have the introduction and related work. But with care, in original research papers, the last paragraph of the introduction is usually the most critical, because that's where the authors present their actual contribution. Of course, we are not talking about the structured paragraph. Now, this structure is not fixed. You may change the order depending on your goal, the type of the paper, and the time you have. And remember, you can stop at any step if the paper is not useful for you. Dropping irrelevant papers early is not a weakness, it's a professional skill that you can gain with practice. Now, you can't become a researcher just by reading papers. Research is also about writing, and the best way to start practicing your writing is by taking notes while you read. That's why note-taking is essential. Instead of passively copying details, Take structured notes. You can find a simple proposed template in the guide. So, emphasize what is a problem or goal, what is a key idea or method, what are the main results, what are the limitations and future work, and finally, what is your own opinion about the paper. Every note you write trains your ability to express ideas clearly, making reading an effective part of your growth as a researcher. Another skill is knowing when to stop. If the paper is unclear, not relevant, or not impactful for your purpose, it's better to stop early and move on. Now you can keep a short record of why you stopped so you won't waste time revising the same paper later. Now the proposed method shows the flexible reading order. You don't need to follow every step every time. It shows what fits your purpose, and remember, you can stop at any stage. The goal is not to read every word, it's to extract what is valuable for your research. Reading a research paper is not a linear process. It is a strategy. Start with a structured approach, adapt it to your goals, and take notes to strengthen both your understanding and your writing. And remember, what I have presented here is only a summary, and every researcher have to build his own way or his own method of how to read a research paper. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to check the guide linked in the description for more detailed references, and I wish you all the success in your research journey.